Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. This is my 1967 CJ5, and by the end of this video, I'm gonna have it running, maybe even driving. Alrighty, so I'm sure some of y'all watched and found yourself here before. It's the first day with a brand new project. Where do you start at? Well, let's just go ahead and do a little walk around, see what catches my eye, see what needs fixing. First few things you always notice is Bondo, patches and repairs, and of course, rust. Now some people, when they see that Bondo and they see those repairs and they see that rust, their knee-jerk reaction is to take the whole Jeep apart, have it sandblasted, make it perfect, complete frame-off restoration. I'm a big believer in don't get it right, get it running, and then slowly make it really good. So body work and repairs is not the first thing I'm gonna look at. Next thing that comes to mind is this flat tire. Now this thing had a big old bubble in it. When I hauled it home, I didn't figure it'd last too much longer, and you can see it's finally give up. The Jeep is full of junk, it's full of leaves and all kinds of trash and everything. Needs a good cleaning. Day one, usually before I even take it off the trailer, I take it to a car wash and I wash it. I didn't get to do it with this one. Up under the hood, it looks like the spider from Charlotte's Web's having a family reunion. There's just stuff all over this thing. It needs a good washing, and honestly, I've not even put a bar on it yet to see if it'll turn over. Your engine and your drivetrain and everything, that's really probably the most important thing about any project vehicle, because you're not going anywhere without that. Now, I've opted to do something first that's equally as important, if not more important. It adds horsepower, it increases performance on and off-road, and it gives you a ton of style points. That's right, y'all, I got wheels and tires. Now what I got here, these are 235 7515 Mud Claws. Found them used on Facebook Marketplace. And what I've got them wrapped around is a Kelsey Hayes Renegade 1 15x8 steel wheel. These are super rare, super hard to come by. These actually came on the 3B when I first bought it. I've had them restored and powder coated what they called Red Silo Red. I think they look awesome, and I can't wait to see them on the Jeep. Let me tell y'all something, nothing fires me up more than putting together a good set of wheels and tires for a project. The wheels and tires, they just make the look of a vehicle sometimes. I can't get over how good these things look on this Jeep. Now, I did take this one step further. I threw some chrome lug nuts on there, and then I had some takeoff hubs from the 3B. They're power lock hubs, and they're real similar to like the Dualmatics I put on the 3B. Instead of a lever though, you've just got a slot, and that's how you turn the tumbler to lock and unlock your hubs. Alrighty y'all, so honestly, wheels and tires are probably not the first thing you should do on a new project, especially one like this that don't even run. I had them sitting around, I couldn't wait to put them together, see what they'd look like. But now I really need to get to work on this thing, start taking the steps to get it running. First thing I really want to do is get this thing cleaned up, wash that engine bay out, blow out all the spiders and all the dirt and everything. So I'm gonna roll this thing down to the hose and get this thing cleaned up. I don't know about y'all, but I'm about ready to hear this thing running. There's a few things I need to check, and then we'll see if this thing will turn over. Something kind of cool washing it revealed. See this blue paint right here? It's just kind of speckled all throughout this thing. There's a little bit right there. There's some on this rear fender right here coming out. And even like right here up underneath that hood hinge, you can see a little bit of it right there. So I kind of wonder if maybe this was the original color, because I'm pretty sure it's been repainted before, but whoever repainted it, it seems like they did a pretty good job stripping it all down, because I don't see a lot of that blue. It's just here and there in little spots. You'll see a little bit of it. First thing I'm gonna do is check the oil. We've got oil, and that looks like some pretty fresh oil. That don't look very old at all. Now, I've not decided if I want to pull these spark plugs out, squirt a little oil down in there. I don't think this thing's been setting that long. I don't even know if I want to fool with barring it over right now, to be honest. If I unhook this gas line and probably pull this little breather horn off, throw a battery on it, bump it a little bit, just see if it'll turn over. And then I'll just see what happens and go from there. What y'all steal y'all's batteries out of? Let me know down in the comments. All right, I got my little switch hooked up here, that solenoid sitting on top of the starter. I took that little breather cover off just in case, but it looks pretty clean down in there. I think we're in good shape. I got a little chainsaw gas sitting by just in case maybe we do have spark. I'll need to unhook this too, just in case. All right, let's see what happens. All right, I think that has to be the best case scenario. Now, I could put my little spark tester on one of these spark plugs, but I might just go ahead, dump a little gas down in there and just see what it does. If I'm not getting spark, the first thing I'll do is I'll just run 12 volts straight to the coil. If I had to guess though, at least the points are probably gonna need to be fouled. I'm sure they're all nasty. Might need a condenser, but might get lucky and this thing might just fire up. Here with a little bit of the good stuff. So I'm pretty sure now I'm not getting any spark. I'm gonna have to pop this cap off this distributor and file them points down, I'm sure. I'm gonna guess that's the issue, but there's only one way to find out. Everything in there looks pretty new. Looks like it's probably been replaced recently. Right there though, that's probably the culprit. So I've got a little, like a nail file, an emery board or whatever you call it. Stick it down in there and I'll file them real quick. I got that little file stuck down in there. Just work it back and forth a little bit. And you can see there's already some corrosion coming off on that. All right, get that cap back on there. Everything's buttoned back up. Let's give her another try. All right, so I went ahead and dug out my spark tester. Bump it over and see what it does. Nothing. So I'm gonna guess it's still something to do with the points. It could be that coil's bad. I think the best thing to do is just give this thing a tune up. I'll get me a new cap, new plug wires, a new coil, points, condenser, just do the whole 9 yards. Eliminate all that crap because there ain't no telling how old that stuff is, and it has been sitting. Alrighty, so it's a few days later. I went on down to AutoZone. I got new points, new condenser. I wasn't going to do the whole 9 yards, do the coil, new cap, wires, everything. The prices on stuff right now are just insane. Everything was going to have to be ordered. This is really the only thing they had in stock. So I'm going to go ahead and take these and throw them on real quick. All right, so I got them points and condensers put on, brand new. We'll see if I can get y'all in here. I'm going to hook the battery up, and we'll see if we got any spark now. I don't know if y'all can see that on the camera or not, but we got good spark coming off them points now. So I checked out the cap. It looks pretty new. I think it's been replaced recently. So hopefully that's good. It looks like our coil's good because we're getting spark down here. So maybe this time I'll put a little brake clean down the carb and this thing will come to life. And there she is. Shoot, yeah, so all it was, I guess, was them points was bad. Maybe I could have done a little bit more filing on them. I don't know, you can see they look pretty pitted and worn down there. It's probably time for a new set of points anyways, but that's got me fired up, y'all. So now I need some kind of reliable fuel delivery system. It looks like they're using this electric fuel pump off that boat tank sitting on the passenger side, which makes me think the manual pump is probably not working. I'm sure I can rig something up real quick though, and then maybe I can have this thing sitting here idling. So I was just kind of curious about how they had this whole thing rigged up here. So you can see this red wire right here coming off of it, goes up under there through the firewall, wraps around right up under there, and it looks like it ends up over there at that toggle switch right there. So that must be how they turn the fuel pump on and off. Now I did try hooking it up. This thing's shot, and I'd rather not use that anyways. I don't feel like them ever are that reliable. I really want to go back to just this manual style pump right here like come with it. I'm wondering if I can just set this thing up on the jug for right now. That way I can just hear it run, maybe even see about driving around just a little bit. Well, y'all, it's a few days later, and honestly, I probably kind of got ahead of myself on this. Every day after work, I've just kind of been plugging away at it, doing little things here and there. So hopefully today is the day this thing finally runs and drives, possibly since 1999. So let me show y'all real quick what I've done here through the week. I've got that whole electric fuel pump mess took out of here. I've got a piece of hose ran from there to this hard line that was already on the engine. Down here I got a new fuel pump. It's not the vacuum and fuel pump like would have been on this, like what I took off, but it'll get me by for now, and it was decently priced. So I've got a 90-degree fitting there, and then on this side I just got a 1/4-inch barb fitting. Run me some hose up through the firewall here. And then right down here, just like when I got it, I got the boat tank, got an inline filter on it there. This thing seems to be running pretty good now. You can hear that little bit of hesitation trying to rev it up. I'm sure this carburetor needs to be rebuilt. I might even have a little bit of a fuel leak or something right there. I don't like this setup. I just left it for now because it's the easiest way to adapt all this. One other thing I did through the week, I put a drive shaft on it. I guess he took it off when he towed it home and he lost it or something, but dug one out of the basement, threw that on there. So I don't really see any reason I can't take this for a little drive. The clutch, it does work. The brakes are locked up solid. I'm not really worried about that. Manual transmission, it'll be all right. So I'm gonna fire this thing up and see what happens. I'm gonna be honest, y'all, I don't think I could be any happier right now. It's got a high idle, it's got no brakes, it's got a janky exhaust, but I'm telling y'all what, I think this thing is gonna be a dandy. There's a lot of stuff left to do, there's plenty of things to work on, but today I'm just happy I could take it for its first drive. Not having brakes, that's probably the biggest thing on the list right now. So next video will probably be brakes. While I was up under there doing that drive shaft, it looks like every brake line on this thing's gonna have to be replaced. I'm gonna tell y'all what though, this is a great little Jeep. It's got a ton of life left in it. And I'm just gonna have to wait and see how far I end up taking this thing. I really appreciate y'all checking out this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next time.